I love Ryan Williams. I love Jeremy Bernard. But goodness gracious, they're not the only two guys. Get more out there. No creativity whatsoever. What's up, Bama Nation? Yours truly, Stephen Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. The morning after, the day after the confusing, embarrassing, frustrating, disappointing 24-3 loss that Alabama took at the hands of Oklahoma over the weekend. First and foremost, Bama Nation, before I get into any of my thoughts about my reactions to the game, SEC championship stuff, college football playoff hopes, where Alabama could be in the AP poll coming out later on today, I just want to take this time to get the pulse of you, the fans. Like, when you woke up this morning, how are you feeling? When you woke up this morning after watching a game that you did not think would go the way it went, how are you feeling when you woke up this morning? Because going into this matchup, we all saw Alabama handle LSU. Like, they go to Baton Rouge, they boat race LSU, they run LSU out of Tiger Stadium, 40-13 win. Everybody's saying if this Alabama team shows up and plays ball the rest of the season, nobody should be able to run with, nobody should be able to hang with the Crimson Tide. And then you go on the road to Norman. And I had an eerie feeling when I woke up Saturday morning that these guys would go on the road to Norman and take Oklahoma lightly. This is a team that's playing with nothing to lose, everything to gain, their season basically in the tank. All they're trying to do is become bowl eligible, and they get bowl eligible against Alabama. This is an Oklahoma team that all they're trying to do is play spoiler and ruin every good thing you got going on, and that's exactly what happened. Alabama allowed Oklahoma to ruin the good thing it had going on. So after doing that, now I can get into my reaction from the game. That was the worst I've seen Alabama look in all of my years of covering Crimson Tide football. It's been 16. This is the worst I've ever seen this offense look. Kalen DeBoer is supposed to be this offensive savant, and you only scored 3 points against Oklahoma. This needs to be a real conversation. Ryan Grubb choosing not to come to Alabama with DeBoer, but staying in Washington to be the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks, that's a real thing. That needs to be a real conversation. Because that offense that was being ran at Washington under DeBoer, that was Ryan Grubb's offense. That offense where you had multiple receivers popping out, making plays, having success, that was Ryan Grubb's offense. And Grubb choosing to not follow DeBoer to Alabama, but to go to the NFL with the Seattle Seahawks, and now you have to take a tight ends coach and Nick Sheridan, make him an offensive coordinator when he only had 1 year of OC experience at Indiana 2019. That's showing up right now. This is not the offense that was ran at Washington. That was Ryan Grubb's offense. So there needs to be a real deal conversation now on, did Ryan Grubb's move not to follow DeBoer to Alabama really hurt the Tide? I think it has. That's number one. I think number two, you got to look at this. Statistically, this was the worst game of Jalen Milroe's career. Yes, you cannot put it. You can't put every single solitary thing on him. Football is a team sport. You win as a team. You lose as a team. But there are moments where he put this group in bad situations. Prime example. If you are seeing on the pick six that he threw, if you are seeing that this linebacker is baiting you into that throw, he's dropping back, he's kind of baiting you into the throw, go somewhere else with the football. Go somewhere else with it. In the moments where Jalen is running the ball, it's like he tries to sidestep too much. No, if the hole is open north and south, hit it. Stop trying to do all the sidestep stuff. If the hole is open north and south, hit it where the hole is open. There were a couple of times, few times over the weekend, in that game where that hole was open north and south, and Milroe's trying to sidestep a guy, and then trying to sidestep a guy, you get tackled. Or trying to sidestep a guy and going about, no, you're 6'2", 230 pounds, hit that thing like a Mack truck north and south with it. That's what you're supposed to do. 3 interceptions, man. 3 of them. This goes back to the Tennessee game where he had 2 picks, putting the team bad situations, and you lost that game. This goes back to the South Carolina game where he had 2 picks, putting the team bad situations, and if not for Damani Jackson at the end getting the interception to help Alabama escape 27-25, South Carolina could have won that football game. Worst game statistically of Milroe's career, period. Worst one. Third of all, Nick Sheridan is looking like Tommy Rees 2.0, period. I mean, you go back to last year. Tommy Rees had the perfect game plan drawn up against LSU. And Tommy Rees and Jalen Milroe carved up LSU last year. But the same thing happened after the LSU game. It's like Tommy Rees didn't know how to be creative, how to dictate to the weaknesses of the opposing defense and draw up a successful game plan. Nick Sheridan, great game against LSU, but where was that creativity against Oklahoma? It wasn't there. Where was that? Where was that creativity against the Sooners? You didn't have it there. Where were the screens, the slants, the misdirections? Where was that leverage being created, Nick Sheridan? You didn't do it. The same thing you beautifully carved out against LSU to run them completely out of Tiger Stadium. Nick, did you forget how to call an offense? Because it was not there against Oklahoma. It was not there. LSU had dudes that can rush the quarterback, but you were able to scheme them out and make plays. Here's Oklahoma. Sure, they got some guys, but you should be able to scheme them out, Nick Sheridan, and you didn't do it. No creativity whatsoever. None. I feel bad for Alabama's running backs right now. Now I can kind of see why Anthony Turbo Rogers backed off his commitment. Because he is seeing that Alabama's not trusting the running backs. Jam Miller was getting 4 to 5 yards a carry, and you're taking the ball away from him. So many former Alabama players were on X over the weekend just going, what are we doing? Jam Miller's eating, and you're taking it away from him. Justice Haynes had a couple of really good runs, and you took the ball away from him. Sheridan, what are you doing? And then this 2 tight end, 2 wide receiver formation that he's constantly putting out on the field. What's up with that? The tight ends aren't getting any separation, and people are wondering why Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard are the only 2 receivers being targeted. They're the only 2 out there on the field. There are more receivers than those 2. You gotta Caleb Oldham. This is the reason why Caleb Oldham is so frustrated. He's not getting a chance to make an impact. This is a 6'5", 230-pound athlete that needs to be on the field. That stayed when he could have easily transferred out of here when Saban retired. Emmanuel Henderson needs to be on the field. Rico Scott, Amari Jefferson, Bubba Hampton, Jaron Hamilton. Bama's got Kendrick Law. Bama's got receivers. Why is this team in this formation every time when it's just 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers? I love Ryan Williams. I love Jeremy Bernard. But goodness gracious, they're not the only 2 guys. Get more out there. That's on Nick Sheridan. No creativity whatsoever. You're Tommy Rees 2.0. And at the very least, Tommy Rees had more OC experience at Notre Dame. You had the right game plan, Sheridan, against LSU, and you look like you had amnesia after that. That's number 3. Number 4, defensively. Coach Kane, Coach Womack. Oklahoma literally took the Vanderbilt game and ran it on you. Like, Oklahoma, and I understand triple option offense is hard to defend, especially when you haven't planned for it, when you haven't prepped for it. But Coach Kane, when you saw Oklahoma starting to use a lot of that triple option look that happened with the Vanderbilt game, at what point did you think, let me adjust? We've seen this before. This looks familiar. Oh, wait. Vanderbilt ran this. Get over the top. Follow your assignment. Play assignment ball. Jackson Arnold only attempted, y'all, 11 passes the whole game. But the man rushed for 131 yards. Oklahoma literally took the Vanderbilt offense and the Tennessee defense and beat Alabama. Go look at it. Oklahoma literally took the Vanderbilt offense and the Tennessee defense and beat Alabama. Plain and simple. That's what they did. That's what they did. Kane Womack, this has been ran before on your defense. You go back. No adjustment, nothing. That was the fifth thing. Folks, SEC championship's over. Bama's not getting in that. That's over. College football playoff hopes, I think those are over too. They're out of it. The only way Bama could limp into that thing, other teams lost over the weekend too. The AP poll may have mercy. We'll see when it comes out later on today. But right now, in my opinion, Bama's out of both of them, SEC and the college football playoff. If they end up limping into the playoff, that'll be surprising. But right now, if I'm Kane on the board, I'm Alabama, you better get yourself ready for this Iron Bowl, because Hugh Freeze is going to look at this tape and go, you mean to tell me all I got to do is shut down Jalen Milroe's running game and he folds like a lawn chair? You mean all I got to do is take the Vanderbilt offense and the Tennessee defense and I beat Alabama on Saban Field? Say less. That's what Hugh Freeze is thinking right now. All I got to do is take the Vanderbilt offense and the Tennessee defense and I shut down Bama on Saban Field. Say less. DeBoer and his staff, they better get these folks ready for Auburn. Because right now, you're looking at the Tangerine Bowl, the Beef O'Brady Bowl, the Boca Raton Bowl, the Dollar General Bowl, the Birmingham Bowl, the Hot Sauce Bowl. That's what you're looking at right now. That's what you're looking at right now. So that's just my reaction from the game. This is yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. We'll see what happens when the AP poll comes out where Bama is concerned. But I think SEC championship, yeah, that's out the door. College football playoff, I think that's out the door. But we'll see what the AP poll says.